Welcome to another episode of Talking Business. Today's guest is the owner of Village Wine and Spirits of Newark Valley, Mr. Chris Leach. Today we get to hear about his journey as an entrepreneur in Northern Tioga as he prepares to ride off into the sunset after 20 years in business, or more than. We also have his son Aaron on today, who will be taking over for Chris upon his retirement. So we welcome you guys on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Chris, I think we're going to kind of start with you, if that's all right. Just interested in hearing a little bit about your story, and as you get to the end of a chapter here, how transitions are looking. But how did you get started in the
Ever thinking about doing in my life, to be honest with you? Uh, Started out growing up on a dairy farm, worked around the clock, long hours, a lot of history of family who were self-sufficient and farmers, etc. But it was long days and long nights. And once I was in high school, kids that weren't farmers seemed to be vacations, etc., time off. And so as soon as I got old enough out of high school, I wasn't going to be a farmer. So I went right into industry and tried a lot of different things, but got hired luckily at IBM and did almost 20 years there.
Wow.
And it was wonderful. They had heat all winter. Every day I was working at the cold here in the winter months. They had air conditioning all summer, and they paid you well. Time and a half on Saturdays, double time on Sundays. So guess what? I was used to working 7 days a week, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Again, almost 20 years, moved up. It was a lot of fun. They respected me. I learned a lot. It was a professional place to work, it seemed. And then EIT bought us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was a lot of changes. Workload doubled. They kept laying people off. Workload doubled again. And then I was approached by a project manager who shook my hand and said, "Congratulations, you're now exempt," meaning you didn't get overtime anymore. You were going to be your salary. And oh, by the way, you can work every night and every weekend still for a lot less money. That's when I decided to go look for something else. My wife and I moved into Newark Valley. We had the kids and we were in school in the early 90s. We moved in there and we loved the town. This village was very quaint. I loved the structures. It was flat, easy to walk, friendly, quiet. So we really enjoyed living there, but we were both working outside the home. And when I decided that I had enough and wanted to do something else, I remember us fill out some surveys. Newark Valley had sent out, the village had sent out in conjunction with the chamber, I believe, surveys like, what kind of businesses would you like in the area? What can the village do differently for the community?
Neat.
What would you like to see different at the parks, etc.? And I remember we both filled it out, but it was years ago. So I went to the village office and I said, "I filled out these surveys years ago. Do you have those reports?" And they handed me a 60-some page report of what villagers wanted, what kind of business they liked in the area, what would they like to see happen differently. And we read those reports. I did a small business plan and like all the ideas people had in there. And liquor store was on there a few times. Like, oh, I'm not doing that. Raised strict Baptist. There was no drinkers in the family for generations. Like, I'm not doing that. And we looked at a lot of different things. And we just kept chiseling away the list, the things that just wouldn't make sense there. Not enough community. And then one day I just called my mother and said, "Geez, I'm looking to start a business, and the only one on there that looks like it's going to sustain itself." She's like, "As long as you're successful, I don't care. Do what you feel you need to do." And we applied for a license, and 6 months later, we had it. And day before Thanksgiving, 2004, we were open for business.
Oh man, what a perfect day!
Yeah, right into the holidays, and it was great. I mean, the community came in, a lot of ideas. We had notebooks we were filling up and trying to order all this stuff. Christmas rolled around. We had double lines. Needed an extra register. I mean, it was like, wow, I made the right decision. This is great. And then January 1st rolled around, and it was a ghost town, till about May. I didn't realize there were so many snowbirds in the community. And meanwhile, I had to pay for all that inventory. And it was a shock. I went quite a few months with not a whole lot of revenue, but a lot of bills. And everybody told me that you may have to go a ways to get into the blue. And it took about 5 years, not paying myself to get this thing. And if I had known that, I think I would have been afraid to do it. But I'm glad we did, and here we are 21 years later. So that's pretty much the story. I've had a lot of fun. There's been a lot of opportunities that we try to take advantage of. And my daughter Christina has been with us for quite a few years now, helping regularly. And she's picked up most of my hours, actually. And now Aaron's stepping in financially and looking to buy the store. And it's been family run. My sister-in-law has been working there. So we've got about 5 people. Sometimes up, sometimes less than that. And it's just been fun to do. We love Newark Valley. The community is great. And yeah, here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, the thing that really kind of speaks is the 5 years. I think a lot of business owners, they jump into something and they don't realize you might be in the red for 4 of those years.
Yeah.
And can you absorb that? So that must have been stressful. Did you have a lot of sleepless nights those first?
Oh,
4
yeah.
years of
Yeah.
what did I get myself into?
Yeah. I'm glad my wife was all for the idea as well. Luckily, she had health insurance, so because I lost mine, and so we could hunker down. We actually bought the building when I decided I was going to open a business there. It's just I didn't have a landlord that was going to continue. If I wanted to expand, we could, etc. And then we had some apartments in it, so that offset the cost of the mortgage, tax, insurance, so we could hunker down. We built an apartment in the attic, and we lived there for 9 years. Just to keep our costs down so we can get this thing going. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend unless you're prepared for that long haul. The other thing I learned at the chamber or the Small Business Association was don't go into business with friends, family, or loved ones because you soon will not be friends, family, or loved ones.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, but I didn't want to bring up any bad
Well,
blood. But
been
let's
21
just be
years,
real.
so we've worked out all the bugs.
So about that, how have you worked out the bugs without destroying relationship?
I did most of those hours myself, and for a long time. For the first part, I want to edit out all the hiccups here, but it was just me. I just filled in all the hours. It was easier once I was in the blue, and then I started giving out some hours. And then we started getting a little more business. People started figuring out we were there, more advertising, started getting more customers, etc. And then brought in another person. At this point, it's easier because it's already established, and there's less stress.
Right.
I didn't go in as partners and saying, okay, we're both putting in the same amount. Meanwhile, I've got somebody in college that I got to pay for, so I'm going to take the money now, or I want to buy a new truck and put the sign of the business on the side of it. And the other person's like, no, we need to re-roll this money. And I mean, there's so many reasons why I've seen a lot of businesses come and go. I've read a lot of business plans.
You get 2 people. It's like a marriage, and if you're not on the same page and in sync, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you can't run it like a hobby.
No,
and you've all got to be on the same page. And your family and spouses have to be on the same page. You're not going to bring that money home right away.
True.
And so it's a big thing that people really need to think about.
Yeah, the spouse, I think, has to be on board 100% because for me lately, it's been late nights of like, I got it. You get in front of people, they're out of work. It's like you're 6 to 8 p.m. getting at home, and it's like they got to be okay putting the kid to bed a couple times, and it's like it's not always going to be split. So
no. We planned it out. We thought about it a lot. Our youngest was just graduating that year. All the kids were kind of gone. We were a little freer if things got tight that we'd be okay. And again, we sold our house and moved into the attic for a reason.
Really?
Huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sold the house and moved into the attic of the liquor store?
Yeah, it was just an old attic. There was nothing up there except cobwebs. And we quickly started making an apartment. I figured, well, we'll put the house up for sale. It could take a while. And with the first week we had to sign in the yard, we had a buyer asking price.
Oh wow.
And we had to hustle to try to build a living space and do that whole transition. So,
How old were the kids at that time?
well, our youngest was just graduated from high school
I
at
was
18.
21 when the store opened.
Oh, you were like, yeah, man, free, yeah, alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Nothing's free.
Nothing's free.
Nothing's free.
Don't worry, guys. I know a guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I knew who I had to ID and who I didn't because everybody in town,
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
be
was
gone
the
to
right
school.
age.
It was
Yeah.
perfect to have in there, having the kids involved, especially around the holidays for those
Mhm.
extra hands. It was a one man band. It's not a
Right.
huge population. I can handle most of it.
Right.
I didn't need partners. I didn't need help necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of birthdays and celebrations working early in the morning till late at night for all those years.
Mm-hmm.
But it paid off. And actually, people, the next generation is kind of like, don't you want to step back a little bit more? Because it's usually my way or the highway. But the transition has been relatively non-bumpy.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah, no, it is. Obviously, I respect my dad a lot. He's a successful entrepreneur, and he owns multiple properties. And I was luckily raised to have that work ethic, going into my own career and working. I love the fact that I get to work with my dad. We talk regularly anyway on so much other stuff, my other businesses, my personal life with obviously my kids and how I want to raise them, and we get to work with my sister on a daily basis. And I know that Dad definitely earned the right to retire and have a little bit of golden ages or whatever you want to say. So when it came to the point of trying to give him some time, I said, yeah, I would like to buy the store, keep it in the family, keep. I'm not saying who would buy it if I didn't, but like to keep it local.
Mm-hmm.
Big community. I graduated in Newark Valley, right?
Sure.
So I know everybody there. My sister lives in Newark Valley now, so good tight community base, and I think it's been good. We're all very strong personalities.
Mhm.
Anybody that goes into entrepreneurship has to be, I think. So we bounce a lot of information off each other, and it's not we don't agree on everything, but it's still thriving, right? Still being steady. So Dad is definitely a hard worker, and I take his lead on a lot of stuff. I'm trying to come into the new day and age of certain things like doing podcasts, which you know uh, we're very fortunate that you guys invited us here.
Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And then, but sticking with the old small town feel at the same time,
Absolutely.
sticking with the discounts that Dad started years ago, trying to keep the community coming, but also reaching out into other parts of Tioga County or neighboring counties to say, hey, we're here and we're competitive, and trying to reach out with social media, etc. Because that's the day and age.
Yeah.
I'm not obviously as advanced or experienced as my father, but I'm not getting any younger either. But we'd like to try to reach out to the younger community. The types of products that we sell have been morphing through the years as well.
The big changes over the years.
21 years ago, the one of the biggest sellers was New York State wines, and it still is. Um, Red Cat was huge. I don't know if we can say brands on this, but
If we get sent a cease and desist, like, we know exactly where to put that paperwork. Right
Yeah.
right in the shredder.
but yeah. So I'll try to keep it vague.
You're
But
good.
other things, RTDs are huge right now, right? The different
Ready to drink products.
ready to drink products,
Premix
right?
Yeah, like the
cans.
nooners.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. You get that family pack with the kiwi and the grapefruit all in. I'd be
Yeah.
buying 6 cases of those.
Yeah, it's more they're lower alcohol. You
Right.
can entertain. And
Yeah. You don't have to worry about someone throwing in a 3-finger shot
No.
in a
Yeah.
mixer, you know?
There has been a huge shift in products and what people are interested in these days. That's for
Mhm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the community's changed. You know, when Dad started, and I don't want to cut him off, but knowing when I was there, you know, filling in when as needed, um, a lot of retirees, snowbirds, like he said. Now it's a different community.
Yeah, it was a bedroom community when we opened. 65% of the customers were 65 or older because there was no jobs. Kids
Mhm.
would grow up, and
Right.
leave school, and move on.
Mhm.
That transition has happened in the last 21 years. Those people are now older and going into either staying south and not coming back anymore, or in um, senior living situations, et cetera. Younger people, younger families are buying into the homes in those areas, and which is really good for them. And I've just seen that huge transition of age group, and then of course the products change, what they're looking for, and you just got to roll with the punches. As a small business, you've got to constantly be looking at the
What
ins and outs, and our inventory is completely different what it was
Yeah.
21 years ago.
Trends, right?
Yeah. As far as retirement goes, Aaron's got a full time job, so
Mm.
I'm still managing the store,
Mm.
but just putting in less hours at the register. A lot of people come in. Where's Chris? And he's in the office doing paperwork. It's not me out in the floors often, which is good. They need to pick up and learn that part of it as well. And my wife's already retired, so I'm looking to have more time at home. And
Mhm.
this has given me a great opportunity. If I didn't have the kids, we thought about it for a while. It's like, I don't want to just let it go.
No.
And somebody else might not treat it the same way. And
No.
the customers are the customers, and this community is what it is. And I'm very blessed, very blessed. Um,
Well, I think it's also that you birthed this, right? Like in a sort of way, it wasn't a liquor company you already bought; it was already established, right? So
yeah.
this is your baby. Like,
Yeah.
that's really the idea of losing something like that is, I see it being very difficult for a lot of people that have.
Oh, his kids know it's his baby.
Yeah. Well, it's like any transition, right? Is tough to go through. I mean, you've been through the transition at IBM. I can relate. My dad went through the same transition. He didn't have many nice things to say about the new ownership. You don't want to see something like that happen to something
Right.
like where you went into it with this integrity of this is supposed to be, a respected business in the community. You're always going to do right by the people, and like there's this mutual relationship, and so it's got to be definitely special for you to know that this is going into good hands, and
Absolutely.
so that's huge.
No, we definitely have been very blessed, and the team that we have now, you know, including she's working right now, so that's why she's not here. But my sister, his daughter, and our other staff, Misty's great, very very nice with the public, very open and helpful. And again, I think we complement each other. He has obviously all the history and knows what works and what doesn't with a small business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I bring in a little newer age thought. I manage businesses and projects for a living outside of this. So looking at it from a different angle is not a bad thing. And, you know, maybe one day we'll see. I got 2 young kids. Maybe they're going to want to be a
Yeah.
part of it later on in life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to think about the future that way.
Absolutely.
Definitely get goosebumps thinking about that. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, Aaron. Um, I'm not ready necessarily to, find a hammock somewhere. I just don't see myself sitting around and,
He's not allowed to.
there's always a project.
Not allowed to. Not allowed to. You
Bump,
got
bump.
you got another boss at home that's got
I
stuff
do.
that you
I do.
need to get done.
And luckily, she's been very patient. Very
Time
patient.
to start devoting some time elsewhere. That's understandable.
Especially after you asked her to move into an attic. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
She's like, "Where's my kitchen?"
Yeah.
That
was
out the
key.
window.
That was key. The kitchen it is a one big open floor plan, so
Yeah.
the kitchen's right there.
Nice.
That's true love right there.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd have a Coleman stove out the window, just like flipping eggs.
Yeah.
What? So I know we talked about a lot, but I guess what were some lessons? What was the number one lesson you walked away from, whether it's a lesson in business or a lesson just in life? And then two, what's the biggest piece of advice you'd give to Aaron?
Lessons learned. Well, most of it was not necessarily. There was quite a few things that I picked up over the years, but taking a class, I recommend anybody going into business to take a class at the SBA. It was a godsend for me. There were so many things I learned there. Jenny Thompson, I don't know if she's still running it, did a great job pulling people in to talk to the people that were sitting there. And it was a diverse group of people, all had big eyes and big dreams.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting around these tables, and they'd go around. They'd bring in a banker one day and talk about, and they'd go around, what kind of business you can do. Well, this is the kind of money we recommend you have to start that business.
Yeah.
How much do you have? Well, not only
Yeah.
that. I learned a lot just listening to other people's what their ideas were and what kind of preparation they made, and it was eye opening. So I would recommend everybody, and I did that a lot. I was a member of the chamber for a number of years, and it was really fun to knowing that information and share that information with others. So it was instead of them going through the learning curve, let's listen to people that have already been down that road numerous times with other people.
Yeah.
And then being in the community all those years before owning a business, and then being an owner myself, watching businesses start and fail, and trying to learn what they did and did not do. Did they run it like a hobby, or what did they do, and then learn that, and then take that on and make sure I don't make those mistakes, and then share those with other people that wanted to start a business. So, and what was the second question? Sorry.
What would be one piece of advice you'd give to Aaron?
Be humble. Listen. He's got a lot of great ideas. I'm a little stubborn, old school in a lot of ways. But I've learned to just breathe. And I tell him the same thing. And don't get excited. The customer's always right. And just grow every day. I mean, he's doing things. I think there's going to be new and exciting things happening at the store. I got used to doing things my way, and you got to keep changing. And he knows that demographic that is actually shopping these days. So, and Christina, I don't know what I would do if she wasn't there working with us all these years. And she's been a godsend, sure. So keep doing what you're doing, and don't kick me out the door yet.
Oh, definitely do not plan on doing that. No, everything that he says is, my father's been my biggest role model through the years. You can't find a harder worker when it comes to anything. And our hobby, our pastime when we do get together, if it's not at the store, is to work on something else. We're always trading projects. If you're not working, we've even gone on vacation together, and we just end up trying to find a project to do. If it's building old cars or working on new barns or doing something, anything to, I don't want to say make a buck, but something
For
that's
progress.
Yeah, always progress, always moving
Perfect.
forward. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Continuing education is huge. Again, we're both from small communities, obviously, and I agree with him. You always want to continue to learn. Any free education I get from anybody, even this experience, is education for us. I never would have thought that I'd be doing a podcast, especially for Village Wine and Spirits. So
that makes two of us. So we really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So they've been great questions so far, and it is very humbling to be able to carry on the legacy. I mean, it's exciting and humbling at the same time because it's family grown.
For sure. We're coming up on time, but that doesn't mean we can't have you guys on another again.
Look
to
forward to it.
talk. What is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
The holidays are upon us,
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting ready at Village Wine and Spirits. Always looking for new ideas. We like to cater to the community. we often get people coming in saying, I can't find this product that I heard about or that product. We looked everywhere and we try to get it in. A lot of stores won't if it's just one person that wants it. And
Sure.
it's such a small community.
Right.
We're happy to keep everybody happy.
So you'll do like special orders.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that common in Newark Valley?
Oh, for us, it is. Yeah.
Is
It
it?
always has been.
Mhm.
Yeah. We custom bring in anything anybody wants. We do birthday parties, we'll figure wedding gifts, packages,
Mhm.
for the parties, etc. Figure out how many people you have, and we'll try to help do that. We do a lot of gift baskets for home warming.
What were those discounts you guys were talking about? So, like, if someone does a special order for a case or whatever, what's the discount?
Well, full case discounts right now are 15%. Half case is 5. We have a reward program, so it's just a card with 10 punches on it, and every time you come in, you get a punch, and after 10 visits, it's 10% of whatever you get: wine, spirits, accessory. It's the repeat customers that have been keeping us there all these years.
Nice.
We like to give something back.
Yeah.
So we try to do as much discounting as possible. And if it's a large package, wedding package, etc., there's further discounting.
Mhm.
We also been doing raffles. Like we just raffled off this nice Adirondack chair,
Nice.
and all the proceeds went to
Food pantry in Newark Valley.
in Newark Valley.
Nice.
So we like to try to give back, and it's a community place. There's only so much in northern Tioga County, right?
Mhm.
So it's really, we do wine tastings almost every Friday, or tastings in general, and try to introduce new products because people don't know, they don't want to buy something, invest in something that they're not going to like. So we always try to give back as much as possible.
Yeah. So those cases, can you do a case of bourbon? What kind of bourbons do you guys sell over
Well,
there?
the case discounts are on wine only.
Oh,
There's not
wine
much
only.
markup in spirits,
Okay.
but with a full reward card.
My dad's big into bourbon lately.
Yeah.
He likes the Bib and Tucker and
Yep.
I don't know. All
Bourbon's been huge
Yeah.
lately. It's a whole community, and we hear a lot that Village Wine and Spirits, because it's all allocations.
Mhm.
The harder
Not-
to get products
yes,
are allocated.
very hard, and we bring in as much as we can, and Dad can definitely talk more in depth about it. But so we get the opportunity to bring in some of this rarer stuff. So people come from far and wide.
Mhm.
We get calls
Oh, yeah.
daily about, hey, can you get this product in or that product? I can't find it anywhere. And then when we do, I'm not gonna say anything about any competitors, but wow, I can't believe that the guy down the road is doing way more than that.
Mhm.
That's not
As
what
far as
we're there
cost,
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just trying to be there for the community. Obviously, we have to keep our doors open,
Right. Everyone's got to make money,
but it's really about keeping everybody together.
for sure.
Bourbons are really hot, and as you said, the allocated product, which means it's very limited.
Yeah.
And again, we were lucky that we've been open long enough and on that list. If we ever said no when we were offered something,
Mhm.
told it was available for us because it's on our allocation list. If we said no, we'd be off that list.
Yeah.
And somebody else who's been waiting. So we always take it, but we always find a home for them. We've got a lot of people from out of state now. They're calling on us. People have moved out of the area and calling back because they know we could get those things. So it's just been really exciting to do this all these years. And I can't believe it's 21 years coming up here in a couple of days. I remember last year when it was going to be 20 years, a couple months before, my wife's like, well, what are we doing special this year? You're going to be doing some more specials, etc. And what kind of advertising you're going to do? And I said, well, why? And she goes, well, it's our 20 years. I go, no, it's not been 20 years. But sure enough,
20% off for 20 years.
yeah,
No, just kidding.
well, we do a lot of we do have a lot of things on sale going into the
Yeah,
holidays
for sure.
and specials that
Yeah.
we're offering up, and we're excited about that.
Awesome.
So before we go into the contact question, I just want to ask one other thing, and that is, as you guys transition from Chris to Aaron. First, we want to welcome you, Aaron.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's exciting. Chris, we always love you, and we will miss maybe as you start to start to decrease the amount of time that you're at the store. We'll miss you. But I want to know from Aaron, what's one thing that you are thinking that's coming down the road that you're excited to do in this liquor store?
Oh boy. Like I said, I'd like to streamline some stuff. When the store started, it was just Dad, right? So he had everything in his mind or in his notebook, etc. I'm a little bit more trying to streamline stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've been doing a little, you know, trying to streamline payroll and scheduling and ordering and all the fun stuff that technology allows us to do now, to keep the store. Luckily, I have all the faith in the world in Dad and Christina that are there every day. I get to show up and do my shifts when I need to, but I really rely on them. So I look forward to actually growing the store. We're obviously we always want to do better in
Sure.
revenue, reaching other communities, reaching down into lower and upper Tioga County, reaching out into Broome County as much as possible, and all over. I mean, nowadays the new laws with the liquor authority has opened up some new avenues I want to really reach. Kind of like delivery, internet sales. There's other things that are opening up.
Yeah.
A lot of products that we weren't able to sell in the past. I mean, you could sell gift bags, but you had to sell them at cost. You couldn't make any money on it. You could sell water as long as it wasn't carbonated or flavored. And we were very limited. Now it's ciders and those kinds of things. There's more mixers and things that we can
Yeah,
do.
little stuff like
Yeah.
we can sell water. You don't really go to our type of store to buy water, but we sell ice because of the RT, the ready to drink mixes. So we're doing that now. And then just moving forward with new technologies to try to streamline anything.
Like keeping track of inventory instead of calling Dan and saying, how many cases of that do we have?
Yeah.
You'd be selling singles of the liquid IV for people for their hangovers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Matt, does this remind you of like an upcoming podcast that you and I are going to do?
Yeah,
On
operations.
operations and systems.
Maybe we
because
should
we're
have
very
Aaron.
systems.
We should have
Yeah.
Aaron back on
Yeah.
for that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I've been pretty stubborn and just have kept it all in my head, and I knew what was happening. And now I'm not there as often, and so I don't see stuff going across the counter every day, all day. So I just don't have that gut feeling of where we stand day to day. And so I realize it's time for change. It's time to modernize, and streamline, instead of me just doing everything and
Yeah,
keeping track of
yeah.
everything. So,
But we
that's
also
what we're
want to stay that humble,
Sure.
Yeah.
uh,
Stick to
quote
your
mom and pop shop kind of
Stick to your
feeling.
roots.
Yeah, 100%. But we want to be able to reach out, and there's a lot of everybody knows somebody, and we want to make sure that we have always a good reputation for being a nice place to visit and always customer first kind of role. So no, I think it's all good things moving forward. And I don't see us going away anytime soon.
Excellent.
Do you have a fun question before we ask for their address and phone number to give out to the public?
Oh, a fun question. This is a favorite part of the podcast.
Do you have one?
Do you?
No.
You're making me nervous.
How many beers have you drank in one night?
Oh.
Go.
I don't remember. I'm
That's
just
too
kidding.
funny. Okay, so for the fun question for the day, each of you think of a crazy exotic food that you've ate and share it with us.
Boy.
Exotic.
If you're a meat and potatoes, this question is not going to be good for you.
No,
Yeah.
I grew up meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
and
meat and
still am
potatoes is
today.
definitely.
Soups, stews, meat and potatoes.
I think I'll speak for Dad a little bit because I think I got it from him. I'll eat about anything that somebody prepares and puts in front of me. So when in Rome, I've been very fortunate and to spend some quality time with my father and other people, but in some exotic places. We've gone to different countries and places over the states that have some interesting food.
Yeah.
But I don't technically eat a lot of seafood, but if I'm on a seafood place, I'm gonna go for the craziest thing they got.
Get the lobster.
Exactly.
Octopus.
Well, I remember the first time I had lobster, I actually was with my father, and
That was fun to watch.
yeah, ordered this giant lobster, And I didn't know. We didn't eat a lot of seafood growing up. Again, meat and potatoes.
Sure.
You know,
Fish sticks. What are you talking?
Yeah, that's the best fish, man. That's a little
Frozen.
little fried cod.
Yeah.
So I opened up the back of the lobster, and I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
don't know the anatomy exactly,
all right.
but I just start eating everything. The
Oh.
green parts, the red parts.
Were you at least dunking it in butter?
I kept looking over like, what is he doing?
And you didn't like think it was a good moment to say, no.
I thought
he was
showing off
chuckling with
like a
everybody
twat.
else.
Dad, they served me this giant crawfish.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I ate it.
Did
was
you
expensive.
really? You probably have never ate a lobster since then.
I mean,
That
again,
part anyway.
if it's in front of me, I don't ask questions. I just
Right.
shovel it in.
Wow, you trained up a good eater.
Yeah.
I was the youngest for a while, so I scrappy, grab food
Yeah,
when
man,
you can.
getting the scraps.
Yep.
Got to.
Yeah, I grew up the same way. We grew up on a dairy farm. We raised all our own food, huge garden. We never went out to eat. We never vacation, so I didn't have a lot of experiences. And then when I was working outside the home, it was a lot of hours, 50,
Yeah.
60 hours a week. And by the time I got home, I was just hitting the hay. I mean, we didn't travel. We didn't have a lot of opportunities early on starting this business. But we branched out. We started going like you said, some other countries. And my wife and I did some traveling and started eating more seafood and sushis. And I was used to everything being cooked. I didn't want it mooing or moving, and to watch something crawling around in an aquarium and they're pulling it out and that's what you're going to eat.
Oh,
It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
My wife had grown up with more of those kinds of things. She traveled a lot more with her family through the States and tried a lot of different things. And so, yeah, somebody else is eating and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff was pretty chewy, squid and calamari. And it's like, try it once.
Yeah. It's all good if you got some cocktail sauce to dip it in or whatever.
Yeah.
It makes it a little
Smothered in something.
Yeah, yeah. Just try not to think about it.
And
Yep.
definitely better fresh when
Ye-
you're talking that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Right out of the
definitely.
ocean versus in a box.
Yeah.
you know?
What about you, Nicole? What was the most exotic food you've ever had?
Well, I have ate a cricket before.
Oh yeah, they're good.
And I would say the most exotic thing that I have ate is octopus.
Okay, the most
A little
exotic.
different than calamari,
Yeah, yeah. I went through this phase in high school. I was small game hunting, and I took a few squirrels and I tried to eat it, and it was pretty tough. That's the word. That's the weirdest thing I've ever eaten. Is a squirrel. It was gross.
Oh,
It wasn't gross,
I've
but
been to a lot of wild game parties, and there's some interesting.
I
stuff
didn't.
that comes.
I didn't cook it right. I cooked it on the grill. You're supposed to put it in a stew.
Yeah.
I meant
Slow cook it.
I screwed it up pretty bad. So it wasn't. I wouldn't do it again. If I were, I would do it right.
At that gaming party, did they have like woodchuck?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
roadkill stew.
Yeah. Oh my
um,
gosh. There was a neighborhood kid that killed a woodchuck and he decided to cook it and bring us over some and we all did take a little
Yeah.
piece.
My buddies in college got us. There was a squirrel living in his closet, and they asked me to come over and remove it. And I put on these snow gloves, and it was under. They threw a book at it, and it was under the book. And I picked it up. It just started screaming. I threw it out the window. They're like, "Get Matt over here. He usually eats these things."
I don't know if we're gonna, ever suggest to customers that we're gonna do squirrel or anything to pair good with wine or anything. But
Goes great with a woodchuck dinner. You never know. But cool. So holiday season's coming. You guys gotta get a hold of Chris and Aaron down at Village Wine and Liquor, Newark Valley. What's your address and good phone number for those who maybe don't know who you are, who to contact?
Right on Main Street in Newark Valley, so it's 20 South Main Street.
Okay.
Can't miss it.
Okay.
right across from the Village Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the phone number is area code 607-642-8836.
Very good.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys for being on.
you.
Have a great
you.
Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a good
Thank you.
holiday
You
season.
do the same.
All
You
right.
too.
Take care.